Udoka sat on the cold floor. The room was small and quiet. Her pillow was a sack of old clothes. Water from the borehole near the window made a dripping sound. She looked at the ceiling. Her eyes were red. Her stomach was empty. Her voice was low when she said, "Why am I still alive? What is left for me here?" She picked up an old spoon, looked at it, then dropped it. "No one cares," she said, "not even my family." She lay down on the bare floor. Her bones ached. She covered her head with a wrapper and closed her eyes. "I will just sleep," she whispered, "and maybe I will not wake up again." Suddenly, her phone made a sound. Beep. She did not move at first. Then it beeped again. Slowly, she opened one eye. "Maybe it's another text from the sachet water boss," she said. But no, it was not a text. It was an email. The sender said, "Italy Home Office." Her hand shook a little as she tapped it open. The email started with, "Dear Miss Udoka Nwosu, we are writing to inform you that the person responsible for the false report against you has confessed at the police station. You are now cleared of all charges. Your work license and your residence permit have been restored. You are free to return to Italy." For a moment, Udoka just sat and stared at the phone. Her mouth was open, but no word came out. She stood up slowly. Then she fell on her knees. She held the phone to her chest and cried. Not loud crying, not shouting, just tears, quiet tears. She pressed her forehead to the floor and said, "God, you did not forget me." The room was still the same, dark and cold, but something had changed in her heart. She stood up, looked at herself in the cracked mirror and said, "Udoka, get ready. You are not dead yet, and you are not finished." 1 month later, Udoka stood at the airport. Her bag was small, but her heart was full. As she walked to the plane, she held her passport tight. "God," she said, "thank you." She sat by the window. As the plane flew into the sky, she looked down at Nigeria, her home, the land that gave her both joy and pain. She touched her chest and made a promise. "No more blind trust," she whispered. "If you give me another chance, I will use my head and not just my heart." She looked around at other people on the plane, then smiled. "They called me Agunwai before," she said. "They will call me that again. But this time, it will be for the right reasons." She closed her eyes, but she did not sleep. Her mind was strong. Her heart was ready. Back in Umuaka, the sun was hot, but Obinna's heart was cold. Men in brown jackets came to the land he claimed. They looked around, took pictures, and asked questions. One of the men said, "This land paper is not correct. The name is not matching the village record." Obinna laughed and said, "It's my land. I built here." But the man said, "You have 3 months to fix it. If not, the land goes back to the government." Obinna stood still. His mouth moved, but no word came out. That same day, Mama Udoka fell on the floor at home. Her eyes rolled. Her hand shook. "Call the doctor!" Someone shouted. At the hospital, the doctor came out with a straight face. "She needs surgery," he said, "and you must pay the bill in 3 days. If not, we will stop treatment." Papa Udoka sat on a bench, holding his head. "Where will we get that kind of money?" he asked. Obinna stood at the corner. His phone rang, but he didn't speak up. Amarachi whispered, "Should we call Udoka?" "No," Papa said quickly. "She may not even pick." "But what if she's our only hope now?" Amarachi asked, her voice low. The room went quiet. Everyone knew the truth. The same girl they pushed away may be the one to save them. The small parlor in Papa Udoka's house was quiet. The light was off. The fan was not working. The air felt heavy. Mama was still in the hospital. The land was in trouble. The house felt cold, even though the weather was hot. Ifeoma sat on the floor, her head on her knees. "What do we do now?" she asked. Obinna looked at the wall. He did not talk for a while. Then he said, "The money, it's all gone. The house, the land, the rent. We used it all." Amarachi stood beside the window. Her voice was soft. Maybe we need Udoka again." Chisom shook her head slowly. "After everything we said, after what we did," no one spoke. Then Chisom said, "So, who will call her?" Papa looked at his phone but said nothing. No one moved. Even the baby in the next room stopped crying. They all knew the truth. They had pushed Udoka away, but now she was their only hope. Far away in Italy, the sun was shining. Not too bright, not too hot, just perfect. Udoka stood inside a small courtroom. Her white dress was simple, but her heart was full. Beside her stood Marco, the Italian man who had loved her from the start. He did not care about her past. He saw her strength, her beauty, her fight. The woman in charge smiled and said, "Do you take him as your husband?" Udoka smiled. Her voice was clear. "I do," she said. Marco looked into her eyes. "I do." They signed the papers. They were now husband and wife. Outside, Udoka held Marco's hand. Her eyes looked up to the sky. "No more lonely nights," she said. "No more crying in the dark." Marco kissed her hand. "This is your new beginning," he said. She nodded. "Yes, this time I will rise the right way." In the small village of Umuaka, Papa Udoka sat under the mango tree, holding his phone tight. He looked tired. His shirt was old. His hands were shaking. He pressed the green button. The phone rang. Far away in Italy, Udoka saw the name on her phone, Papa calling. She looked at it. She did not move. The phone kept ringing. She let it stop. He called again. She stared at the screen. No answer. The phone rang a third time. This time, she picked. Her voice was calm. "Hello." Papa's voice was low. "Udoka, your mother is dying. Please, she needs help." There was a pause. Udoka took a deep breath. Then she said, "When I was dying, where were you?" Silence. She ended the call. She put the phone down and walked to the window. Her eyes were dry, but her heart was loud. At the hospital in Owerri, the nurse stood at the door with a paper in her hand. She said, "If you don't pay the bill, we will send her home. No more treatment." Obinna sat on the plastic chair outside. He was sweating, even though the sun was not hot. He called one land agent. "Please, help me sell the land fast." The man said, No one wants that land. It has too many problems. Obinna dropped the phone. His eyes were red. Back in the village, people started talking. They said, "Is that not the family that chased Udoka away?" Another voice said, "Yes, they are Agunwine. She carried them for years. Now, see them." A woman at the market added, "They are begging now. But who will listen?" The shame was heavy. The pain was real, but no one could help them except the one they had pushed away. It was a cool evening in Italy. Udoka sat by the window looking at the sky. Her husband walked in with a small white cake. A candle was on top. He said, "To new beginnings." Udoka smiled. This smile was not fake. It was soft. It was real. They sat and ate the cake together. No noise, no drama, just peace. Then her phone made a sound. Bing. She picked it up and saw a message. It was from Chisom. It said, "Please, Mama may not make it. We are sorry. Please help us." Udoka looked at the message. She read it again. Then she pressed delete. She didn't say a word. She just stood up and walked to the sink to wash her hands. The next morning, very early, someone knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Udoka opened it slowly. It was the Nigerian community president in Italy. He smiled, held his cap in one hand, and said, "Good morning, Udoka." She said, "Good morning, sir. I came with something," he said. "A letter from your sister, Amarachi." Udoka's face changed. She took the letter with slow hands. "She asked me to talk to you too," he said. "They have wronged you. That one I know." Udoka opened the letter. She sat down and read, "Dear sister, I am sorry. We are all sorry. I never agreed with what Mama, Papa, and Obinna did, but they shut me up every time. Mama is very sick now. She is not talking anymore. The money is all gone. It was your money. We all know. You helped us through school. You built the house. You sent money for the land. We all know. Obinna is sick now. Papa sold his bike. The land has big problems. Your God is fighting for you. Please forgive us. We need you." Udoka's hands began to shake. Her lips moved, but no words came out. She whispered, "What do they want this time? They took everything I worked for." Then she dropped the letter. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Her husband ran to her and held her hand. "Tell me everything," he said. She told him all, from the start till now. She cried and cried. He hugged her. "You are not alone anymore," he said. "Will Udoka go back? Will she help them?" Find out in the next episode. Drop your comments below. What would you do if you were in Udoka's shoes? Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.